Once upon a time, there was this hypnotist, a hypnotherapist, and he would help people. People that had problems would come to see this hypnotherapist in his office, and he would hypnotize them. And while they were hypnotized, he would go inside their brain and rearrange their thoughts and rearrange their beliefs and heal people. He would make people feel better. But he had a problem. It usually took new patients 5 or 6 full sessions to become comfortable going into hypnosis, which is normal because every time we do new things, every time you try something new, every time you have new experiences, it's a little uncomfortable at first. Whenever we go into a new and unfamiliar situation or new and unfamiliar surroundings, our brain is on high alert for danger. So it takes a while to get used to these situations. And the more you get used to these situations, the more they become familiar. And once they become familiar, then we can relax and let our guard down and really enjoy this situation. And this is the same with hypnosis. But he didn't want to take 4 or 5 sessions to hypnotize his patients. He wanted to hypnotize people quickly so he could change people's beliefs. So he tried an experiment. In the very first session, he would tell people to go into a trance. And then he would play around, and then he would wake them up. And then he would tell them again to go into a trance. And then he would wake them up, and he would do it again. He would tell them to go into a trance and relax your mind. And every single time they went into a trance and came out and went back into a trance, they would go deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is the origin story of fractionation. To take what normally takes 4 or 5 sessions and put it into one single session where you fractionate the hypnosis experience several times in one session. And you can also use fractionation conversationally, because when you use fractionation conversationally, you can put people into a deeper and deeper trance through your conversations. And when you're talking to somebody and they don't know they're being hypnotized, but they're in a deep trance anyway, you can slide in a lot of hypnotic technology to rearrange their thoughts, to implant new desires, to get rid of limiting beliefs. So how do you do this? Well, there's a couple of ways to use fractionation conversationally, a couple of ways to apply fractionation conversationally. One way is to develop a hypnotic speaking cadence that's different than the normal way that you talk. You can speak a little bit more slowly. You can use one breath to power every idea. So every breath is a new thought, and each thought can naturally lead to the next thought about a guy, maybe, or a story about a guy that went on vacation. And all these interesting things started to happen to him on his vacation. And he went deeper and deeper into your unconscious. And then you speak in your regular voice and talk about regular things and bounce around regular topics like people normally speak. But every so often you go back into your hypnotic speaking cadence, where you speak more slowly with stronger and stronger presence as you put a lot more focus on the person you're talking to. And notice their facial expressions and notice their body language. And then go back into your regular speaking voice. That's one way to leverage fractionation conversationally, is to bounce back and forth between your hypnotic speaking voice and your regular speaking voice. Another way to leverage fractionation is to elicit people's desires. Everybody has an unlimited amount of desires in their head, but we rarely get a chance to tell other people what it is we want because we're all gun shy. Because every time you talk about your desires, somebody else is going to start talking about their desires, which kind of minimizes your desires. Or if you start talking about your desires, somebody else might tell you why your desires shouldn't be this, they should be that. Or they might even tell you problems with your desires. So we all are a little bit gun shy when talking about our desires. So just like going into hypnosis, talking about our desires uninhibited is an uncomfortable situation or an unfamiliar situation. So every time you elicit their desire map, and then talk about regular stuff, and then go back to eliciting their desire map, and then talk about regular stuff, and then go back to eliciting their desire map, they'll go deeper and deeper into their own subconscious as they imagine their desires more and more brightly. And every time you go into desire map elicitation, they'll feel more comfortable. They'll feel more connected to you. Another way to leverage fractionation is to ask about their previous successes, ask about their previous experiences, ask about their previous decisions they made that worked out really, really well. Because every time we go into our memory, that is a trance unto itself. And you can talk about regular stuff and then talk about their memories, and then talk about regular stuff and talk about their memories. So these are 3 powerful ways to leverage fractionation and use fractionation conversationally. Speak slowly, speak your normal voice. Talk about their desires, talk about regular stuff. Talk about their memories, talk about regular stuff. These are 3 powerful ways to put people into a very deep trance conversationally, so you can slide in ideas and alter their thinking in any way that you like. If you'd like to learn a lot more about how you can easily and conversationally hypnotize, persuade, and seduce people, check out the links below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.